Recently, ChatGPT became available as a dedicated iPhone app that you can download right from the App Store. And so with that in mind, I thought I'd make a video showing you what you need to know about it. In this video, we're going to quickly discuss getting the app up and running on your phone, and then we'll look at some clever ways that you can use ChatGPT with your iPhone to achieve amazing results. Stick with me until the end of the video. I think this app is going to be a bit of a game changer. Okay, let's get into it. As of the time of making this video, ChatGPT is available as a download from the iPhone App Store in 12 countries, with OpenAI working on making it available elsewhere as soon as possible. And to be fair to them, considering this only launched in the US a matter of weeks ago, they do seem to be making good progress with this. To get the app, head to the App Store and search for ChatGPT. You're looking for this app. Download it, install it, and log in with your OpenAI credentials. The app works on both free and paid accounts. I'm using a paid account for this video. You don't have to, but I just wanted to make that clear from the off. And at the one point in the video where a paid account is required, I will make that clear. We won't spend long on this section because thankfully the app is very easy to use, but let's cover it just in case. If you're in a paid account like I am, up here at the top you'll have access to both GPT 3.5 and GPT 4. If you're in a free account, you'll only have access to 3.5, and so the option won't show here. I'll do as much as I can in 3.5 for the sake of this video. The menu button in the upper right allows you to view your history, to begin a new chat, and also to access your settings. Not much to show in here really, other than you can set your default language, and you can also toggle haptic feedback on and off. It's on by default. It gives your device a very gentle buzz when the app is working, and whilst you may like it, it does reduce your battery a bit more than having it off, so it might be worth switching this off. Also, if you're in the free version of the app, you can upgrade to the paid version here. At the bottom of the screen is the chat window, where you will of course interact with ChatGPT. It's simple enough. You're going to tap into the message bar and type, but ChatGPT does also have a microphone input button, this one here, where you can tap and speak your commands. But to be fair, you do also have the option of dictating text via your iPhone's regular dictation method. You can hit return when you need to, insert line breaks in your request, and then you'll simply hit the blue arrow button when you're ready to submit your request. So just to illustrate this, let's create a very basic prompt. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create a recipe for oatmeal cookies, to create a batch of 12, and say that I'd like the recipe to be in metric terms. And to make this easy, I'm going to tap the speak button and speak my request in. Create a recipe for oatmeal cookies to create a batch of 12. I'd like the recipe to be in metric terms. And just like that, you can see that ChatGPT begins creating the recipe for me as requested. If I then tap and hold on the text for a moment, you can see that we have some options. We can copy the response, so we could paste it elsewhere. We can select the text. We can ask ChatGPT to regenerate a response, and we can rate the response as either good or bad. Okay, so with the basics out of the way, let's explore some of the different ways that we can effectively use ChatGPT with our iPhone, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, getting some benefits of having the ChatGPT app available on our phone. Obviously, we all use our iPhones for very different reasons. Some of us use it for personal use, some for business, some of us use it for creative purposes, some of us use it for all of these things and more, so I'll try to cover a wide range. Let's start with a simple one. Let's say that I'm managing a small team, and I want to quickly send out an email to my team asking them to prepare for a recurring meeting on a Friday where we're going to discuss our achievements from the week and plan for the next week. I might say something like, draft an email to my team. The email is letting them know about a new recurring meeting that's going to happen each Friday at 3 p.m. GMT. During the meeting, we're going to discuss what we've all achieved that week and plan for the coming week. Ask the team to prepare for the meeting. Keep the email light and friendly. You can see that ChatGPT comes back with a result, and if I scroll through, it's pretty good, but it's a bit long. I prefer emails to be short and to the point so that people are more likely to read them. So I'll use the speak function to ask ChatGPT to have another go. Try again, but make it a bit shorter. And you can see that ChatGPT will try again, keeping much of the essence of the email, but thinning it down. I prefer this version. So what I could do now is press and hold on the text and then choose copy. I'll then open Mail and I'll quickly write a subject and then press and hold in the body of the blank email, then choose paste to paste the content in. I'll obviously need to check it first and make a few edits. I'll put my name in down at the bottom, and you'll notice that ChatGPT even gives you an email subject if you want to use it, so I could copy and paste that over the one that I created. And there you go, an email that is ready to send, all in the space of a couple of minutes. By the way, there is an accompanying PDF for this video with full step-by-step guide, including screenshots, and you can access it along with all PDFs moving forward and the growing library of old ones for just $5 a month. Click the link in the description of this video that says get the PDF. Let's try another email example. Running this YouTube channel, I get emails every day from companies wanting me to promote their product or join their affiliate program, and whilst I try to reply to as many as I can, usually declining their offer, it can get really tiresome. So let's take this email here from a widget company asking me to promote their latest widget. I want to politely but briefly decline their offer, and we can of course use ChatGPT to do this. But let's take it a step further. Like I mentioned, I get these kind of emails all the time. So what if we wanted to not only decline this email, but do it in a matter of seconds, as this is something that we're having to do often? Let's do the following. I'm going to open up Notes, and I'm going to type out my prompt in a blank note. Here's the prompt that I'm going to use. Draft a polite reply to this email. Make it short and to the point. Decline their offer and thank them for their time. Explain that the product is not a good match for this channel, and sign off in a way that doesn't commit me to any future collaboration. I'm then going to select the text that we've just written and copy it. I'm then going to open Settings and go to General, then Keyboards and choose Text Replacement. I'll tap the plus button to create a new text replacement, and in the phrase box, I'm going to paste the prompt that we just created and copied. In Shortcuts, I'm going to input GPT decline. So in other words, whenever I type that exact phrase in, it will swap it out for the prompt that I just created. I'll then bounce back to the email and select all to select the text from the email, then choose copy. I'll then open ChatGPT, and in the text box, I'm going to type GPT decline, which you can see has automatically inserted the prompt that I want. Then I'll move down a couple of lines and paste in the contents of the email. And just like that, ChatGPT drafts a personalized email reply for me. I'm pretty happy with this. I could of course ask for some edits or manually input some edits myself if I wanted to, but this seems pretty good to me. I'll copy the text, then go back to the email, hit reply, paste in the response, and hit send. It's that easy, and just like that, we've got a suitable reply that we can fire right back with minimal effort. And in the future, all I'd have to do is copy the email into ChatGPT, quickly input the prompt using text replacement, and it's all done in a matter of seconds. Another really useful feature of ChatGPT is its ability to summarize information for you. So here we've got an overly complicated sales email that we've been sent, and I'd like to use ChatGPT to quickly summarize the email for me and let me know what the key points are. So I'll select all of the text in the email and copy it to my clipboard. I'm then going to open ChatGPT, and I'll actually speak my request in. Summarize this email for me in no more than 2 sentences. I'll then paste the email in and let ChatGPT do its thing. And you can see in a matter of seconds, it's identified that the core message in this email is that I'm being invited to a webinar. I could of course then use ChatGPT to politely decline the offer if I wanted to, and don't forget the method that we just looked at of using text replacements to make this really quick for a prompt that you use all the time. By the way, if you're enjoying the content here, why not consider signing up to my newsletter, The Proper Weekly? I include some tech news from the week, a behind the scenes of what's happening here on the channel, as well as a tip for an item in the Apple ecosystem. The newsletter goes out each Friday, it's free to join, and I'll include a sign up link in the description of this video. Okay, so here's a non-business one. I've got this recipe for chocolate chip cookies, but it's not in the measurement format that I'd like it to be in, and I'd also quite like it if ChatGPT could write me out a shopping list of what I'd need to buy to be able to make this. So first, I'm going to select the recipe, which is an absolute nightmare thanks to the way that this website is designed, full of adverts. I'll then copy the text and head back to ChatGPT. And for the prompt, I'm going to input the following. Convert this recipe into metric. Write me a shopping list of what I will need. And then I'll paste in the recipe and let ChatGPT go to work. You can see that not only has the recipe been recreated with metric measurements for the ingredients, it's even amended the temperature of the oven, which is a nice little bonus. and, as requested, a shopping list down at the bottom of the page, which I could copy and paste out into reminders. And of course, in the spirit of using ChatGPT with other parts of your iPhone, I could then copy the recipe and paste it into notes so that I know I've got this for future reference. If your device supports live text, which is any iPhone from the XS and XR onwards with the latest iOS software, you can input live text right into ChatGPT. So here, for example, we've got a terms and conditions leaflet, and let's say that I'd like ChatGPT to break this down into much easier to understand terms. I'll start a new chat in ChatGPT, and I'll input my prompt to begin with. I'm going to say, summarize this for me in easy to understand language. I'll then tap into the text box and tap this live text button. I'm then going to position the camera so that it can capture the text, and I can also tap this live text button here to allow me to capture an image and use my finger to select just the bit that I want. It is fiddly, but it does work. I'll insert the text and then run the prompt. And you can see that ChatGPT is able to do exactly what I wanted, taking something from printed media and giving me a nice, concise, clear summary. The ChatGPT app for iPhone is pretty basic from what I've seen so far. You can't really integrate it with other parts of the iPhone other than copy and paste, and hopefully that's going to change in the future. But also a feature that's missing is the use of plugins. However, you can still access ChatGPT on your iPhone through your browser, and when you do that, you can use plugins. Plugins are only available to paid users at the moment, so I won't spend too much time on them, but I wanted to include at least a short mention of them so that you can see just how much you can do with them, and then you can make a decision about whether upgrading to the Plus membership might be right for you. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in a future video all about ChatGPT plugins. So I've logged into ChatGPT here in Safari. Firstly, I need to tap this menu button in the upper left of the screen. Then down here at the bottom left, I'm going to tap on the ellipsis menu next to my email address and then tap on Settings. Choose Beta Features and Enable Plugins. You might also want to enable Browse with Bing, although I won't be covering that feature in this video. Tap the cross to close this window. Back in the main window, and you can see that because I'm now using a paid version, I've got the option at the top to choose between GPT 3.5 and 4. For this to work, we have to choose 4, but you want to tap on the down pointing arrow so that you can get some additional options. Tap to select plugins. Notice at the top of the screen, it will say no plugins enabled. Tap here and any plugins that you've already got installed will be available to you. I'm going to choose Plugin Store. Here you can choose from loads of different plugins, all compatible with ChatGPT. Apps like Show Me allow you to create diagrams in the chat. Kayak and TripAdvisor can search flights and hotel information. Scholar AI allows you to search scientific papers. There's tons to choose from here. I'm going to recommend a couple that I've been using. I've been using Video Insights and Link Reader. Video Insights lets you search the transcripts of YouTube videos, while Link Reader allows ChatGPT to follow links that you give it, including things like PDFs and documents. Simply choose Install to install a plugin. Back in the chat window, I've enabled Link Reader and Video Insights. You can install as many plugins as you like, but you can only run 3 at a time. Let's explore what we can do here. Remember the cookie recipe that I had to copy earlier and how annoying it was to get that recipe text selected from the cluttered website? Well, this time I'll simply copy the link to my clipboard. I'll then go back to ChatGPT and ask it to give me the recipe converted into metric terms and to give me a shopping list, but this time I'll simply paste the link in. You can see that when we use plugins, it's a bit slower, and ChatGPT tells you that a plugin is being used, but it does come back with what I asked for, albeit minus the actual recipe steps. So I'll add a follow-up prompt. Remember that this is conversational AI, asking it to give me the actual recipe, which it then does. This plugin is extremely powerful because it allows you to throw pretty much any kind of web page, file, or document at ChatGPT and have it explain it to you, summarize it for you, pull out important information, pretty much anything you can imagine needing. Let's try the other option, which is to grab a video and perform the same kind of task. I've gone to YouTube and I've headed to MKBHD's latest video, which is about the OnePlus tablet and whether it's an iPad killer or clone. I'll copy the link to the video, then head back to ChatGPT and ask it to summarize this video for me, giving me the key takeaways. I'll then paste the link to the YouTube video and let the tool get to work. Again, you can see that it lets me know right away that a plugin is being used, in this case, Video Insights. And very quickly, ChatGPT spits out a very detailed summary of the video, broken down into the key points. It uses the transcripts of videos to do this, and I have noticed that it works better on shorter videos and won't always work on really long videos. So there you go, that's a look at how you can use the official ChatGPT app on your iPhone. As you can see, the app is good, but it will be even better as soon as OpenAI include access to plugins as standard in the app. And it will be awesome when you can begin to better share from and into the app like you can with other iPhone apps. What do you think? Which features would you like to see next in a future upgrade? And how do you think you might start using ChatGPT now that it's available as a dedicated app? Drop me a comment and let me know. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.